Up till now, I've mostly been presenting a big picture view of the different spiritual trends and happenings occurring in the church of our day. But in this session, I want to zero in on something that has become a very real aspect of daily life. I'm talking about social media. Surely one of the devil's greatest achievements in our generation is the way he has been able to use social media to capture the hearts and minds of billions of people. Social media clearly appeals to some of the most powerful desires in the human heart. There is no other explanation for its universal acceptance. Now, I should state up front that I have very little experience with social media. I've never had a personal account on any of the social media networks. I don't know what it's like to spend hours scrolling through people's posts about themselves. I don't visit discussion blogs. I've never advertised myself on LinkedIn. I know nothing of swiping through endless TikTok videos. However, I do have godly friends who occasionally use social media to stay connected to close friends and family members. For them, it's just a way they can share fun photos and meaningful content with those closest to them. They're able to use this internet platform in such a way that it has little or no detrimental effect on their lives. Such people are undoubtedly a source of real annoyance to people like Mark Zuckerberg. He and other like-minded internet engineers have designed their social mediums to foster continuous, relentless engagement. After all, the more popular their platforms are, the more advertising they can sell, to the tune of billions of dollars per year. With so much power and money to be gained, Mark Zuckerberg and the other social media giants want every human being in the entire world on their platforms and using them continuously. Armed with a robust understanding of human psychology, their developers designed these mediums to be highly addictive. And if you can't imagine life without social media, or you can't remember the last time you went a full day without checking your social media accounts, then you're probably addicted. Just the kind of person they're looking for. It only makes sense that empty, Christless souls would buy into the social media craze. After all, what else do they have to live for? But for Christians to give themselves over to it can only mean that their relationship to the Lord is either very shallow or just a figment of a deluded mind. As I said, my experience with social media has mostly been from what I hear from others, and most of it has been very disturbing. What I have derived about it is that there are three primary draws to it. Let's take a minute to consider these. The first allurement of social media is that it gives the user the necessary tools to gain attention to himself. Whatever a person's goal might be, he's now given the capability to attract and influence massive numbers of people. Facebook actually has a page that instructs their users how to grow their audience and the level of visitors' engagement. They offer 16 different tips about how to accomplish this. The second draw is that a person is able to present a positive image of himself to his hopefully ever-widening circle of acquaintances. One of the worst aspects of social media is that it encourages people to promote a glorified, edited view of themselves to others. Perhaps without even thinking about it, each image is examined before posting so that what is presented puts them in a favorable light. In other words, a person's social media profile is never a window into their real life. It only shows you what they want you to see. The payoff for an interesting or beautiful page is to gain followers. Because, after all, the more people who subscribe to or like your page means that more people actually like you. The problem with living in this competitive environment is that it also opens the door for unwanted criticism, which can leave the person depressed or even devastated. Young people have committed suicide simply because they've been unliked by someone they were seeking to impress. Many more have ended their lives because of ugly remarks posted by some online bully. The third reason I'll touch on is that social media gives them the ability to peek into the lives of other people. For some, it's just a way to while away hours in the never-ending desire to escape boredom. Others use it to stalk someone they have a crush on. Either way, social media makes it impossible to know exactly who is viewing your profile. With this anonymity, it's possible for people to freely look into the lives of others without concern. Whatever a person's motivation might be, social media, like all forms of entertainment, is just one more distraction the enemy uses to keep people from considering the more meaningful issues of life. Who wants to consider spiritual matters when they can keep themselves occupied with what's going on in their inner circle of friends? What Christian wants to get up early to spend an hour with the Lord when they've been up till late at night surfing the internet and swiping through videos? No one. And that's one of the main reasons why Satan dreamed it up in the first place. And that alone should cause us all to seriously consider the Apostle Paul's admonition for believers to redeem the time. For one day, we will certainly give an accounting to the Lord as to how we spent this precious commodity.
Like, I saw how social media was leading me into lust and leading me into just a heart that was opposite to Jesus. But I didn't want to admit that because then I'd have to deal with it. But I loved that life because it's all fleshly. I loved it. I valued it. And it, if I see it, then I have to deal with it. And I know I have to cut it off, and I don't want to be that person. But if we do take a hard look at it, like you're saying, we have to see, like, if my goal is to really walk with Jesus, where does this come into play with my walk with Jesus?